Welcome back to another episode of the new season here of the Ipswich Career Mode on FC25, where we are still in the Premier League. We survived relegation last season. It's now time to build off of that survival, bringing in a couple more players to boost the squads overall and just try and get this club maybe mid-table, top half of the table for this season. That's the aim. We have 43 million, which honestly isn't that much to spend, so we are going to have to spend it frugally. I do want to have multiple positions to improve. I do want to improve on goalkeeper, even though Murdic is now up to 77. I still want to improve on Murdic. I think our striker department is good enough with Haji Wright and Delop fighting for it. I want to bring in either a left winger or a right winger. Don't know yet. I'll bring in one of the two, maybe even both, and Hutchinson will play. Hutchinson's kind of almost the certain starter here, where Ogbene could be on the bench / sold. Sammy Smollett is our cam. We have Tyler Adams and Belmonte currently as a CDM. I want to bring back Patrick Berg, this time on a permanent deal. Leif Davis is our left back, with Acuna obviously only being a loan deal. I want to bring in a center back, and we might even bring Kivior back either on loan or on a permanent deal as well. And I want to improve on our right back situation. So pretty much all over the field, we're shopping in the departments besides kind of the cam position. Maybe bring in somebody better for backup for Chaplin, but maybe even start Chaplin, who knows quite yet. But we have 43 million to spend, and we want to spend it. And so I have a bunch of players kind of shortlisted here on the transfer hub. We have a 35-year-old goalkeeper in Oliver Baumann, who is 35.82 overall. He's on here because he's cheap. He's still good enough. He'll probably be 70, 72, 75 when the season ends. We have a younger guy in Bender, who is not quite young but 6'6". We have Flecken, who is Premier League proven. We have Castro Schmeichel, who is Premier League proven, part of the legendary Leicester squad that won the Premier League back in 2015-2016. We could bring him back to the Prem. He's 38 years old at 77, so he's going to deteriorate a lot quicker than normal, but he is pretty much practically free. For right backs, we have Tommy Asu as an option. We also have Thiago Santos, who I'm leaning more of than Tommy Asu just because he's younger and I feel like he has a higher ceiling than Tommy Asu. For center backs, we have Curtis and Garcia, but we also have Kivior that we could obviously bring back to the club. As left back, either possible backup left back or even fighting for starting left back, we have Nuno Tavares. We also have youngster Harry Amos just as prospect future options. We have Decore for the midfield. We have Archie Gray for the midfield. We have Patrick Berg, who's our number one. We have Zagrover, who's kind of my number one right now as well, to bring in as a right winger because of all his play styles: whip pass, technical, Travella, finesse shot, flair, first touch play styles. He looks absolutely insane as well, so he's probably our number one choice, but he's going to take up half if not most of our budget. We have Henry Mkhitaryan, who we could bring in pretty much for his play styles as well. If we were to bring him in, it'll be a loan deal. Hayata, Bellingham, Jensen, who's a young prospect there, Ramazzini if we want to bring in a left winger, Morgan Rogers as a possible cam to bring in. Obviously Morgan Rogers has been, at least for the first start of the season, he was a hot prospect running through the midfields of Arsenal, just absolutely controlling that game. We could bring him in as a cam possibly as well, and even a left midfielder and a left winger. And then we have a youngster in Enzo Gonzalez coming in from Wolves, who just got relegated down to the championship. So we're going to go shopping a little bit here, maybe find a couple more players that we could bring in. And for goalkeeper department, I know he's practically almost free, but we are still going to try and get him for free by bringing him on loan for the season. I did do a loan to buy. I really only wanted a loan, so I'm happy they kind of rejected that and shut that down. We want a one-year loan with Ballman here, bring him in for the season. And, I mean, he's really only going to be good enough for one season, so it's perfectly fine there. And then maybe Murdic will be able to grow even more, and then we could have him as our main keeper from season 3 on, or we go find someone else. And Bauman, welcome to Ipswich. Welcome to the Ed Sheeran Club here. You'll be here for the season, hopefully pushing us up towards mid-table spots, upper table spots. Maybe a cup run as well is on the cards. Murdic is number 2. Oliver Bauman is the number 1 choice. And the next signing we make, it's a permanent one. It's our right back department looking to be checked off in Thiago Santos. Welcome to the club for 24 million. Pretty much his market value, just 500k less than his market value. Thiago Santos joins the club to be our starting right back, and he'll join Tyler Adams, he'll join Graves, he'll join O'Shea and Mr. Leaf Davis in that back line. Next up is it Mr. Kivior coming back on loan for one more season. Jacob Kivior. We couldn't really afford to bring him in on a permanent deal, at least right now. So we get him strapped up, locked in on a loan deal here from Arsenal. Welcome back to Ipswich, Mr. Kivior. You was already here once, you're here again. Next signing gets another loan deal here. Henrik Mkhitaryan. Welcome to the Premier League. Welcome back to the Premier League with your semi-successful success at Arsenal and your absolute failure at Man United. Now back with a relatively newly promoted team in Ipswich Town. Welcome to Ipswich. Let's see what you can do. Not going to be a starter, but I'm going to have to at least start you quite a bit or play you quite a bit in the first 6 months. And then after that, who knows what happens in the second half of the season. But welcome to Ipswich. And we say goodbye to our first player. I believe this is Jake Clark leaving the club to AS Monaco for roughly 12-ish million. We're not going to really need his services, especially if we bring in the players we want to bring in. So we go ahead and get him gone. We got to start getting rid of some of these players that I know and possibly won't have a future at this club come this season and really next season. Next season, I don't think most of these guys are going to have a career here at Ipswich Town, so let's just start getting rid of them now. And here we go, Jack Clark for 12.8 million to AS Monaco. Harry Clark, a guy that I quite literally never used, sold to Anderlecht for 1.7 million. I would say I'd miss you, but I didn't even know you was here until I got a transfer offer for you, in all honesty. So goodbye to you. And we say goodbye to Connor Chaplin. This does open up the door in the room to bring in Morgan Rogers. It was either Connor Chaplin or Sammy Smocks to leave. Chaplin got the first transfer offer, so we sell him first for 4.8 million. Trying to get our transfer budget just a little bit up there. Next permanent signing, we splash a little bit of that cash we just got, 9.5 million, to bring back Mr. Patrick Berg on a permanent deal now for 9.5 million. Welcome back to Ipswich and welcome to Ipswich for the next 3 years of your life. He joins from Bodo Glimt. And so right now, this is the current team. We currently have Ogboni on the left. We have Haji Wright as our starting striker. It's either Haji Wright or Delop. I'm giving it to Haji Wright at the moment. Hutchinson on the right. Sammy Smotic still at cam. Adams and Berg back in the midfield duo-ship. Davis, Kivior, O'Shea, Santos at right back. And Ballman as our captain in between the sticks. This is our current starting 11 at the moment, our best starting 11 at the moment. I still want to bring in a winger. I still want to bring in possibly Morgan Rogers as well. I might have to look to possibly loan Morgan Rogers in though. And other than that, I don't know. Bayadi, I'm looking to loan out. He's probably going to be loaned out in the next couple of seconds in all honesty. So let's just keep on getting to it. Let's keep on doing our transfer business. And here he goes. Mr. Bayadi is out on loan to Leicester City for the season. He finally has a game face. I didn't do that. I forgot. I didn't know. I wasn't ready for him to have like a picture, a little icon there. But he finally has a picture, so he's gone. Cameron Humphreys is also gone permanently as well. 1.8 million we get out of him. Goodbye to you. So it's looking like really if I want to bring in a right midfielder and a cam, I'm only going to be able to permanently sign one of them. So I'm going to look to actually possibly loan Rogers in. It's either I loan Rogers or I loan Grava. I also do have Giovanni Reina up here as well as a possible option. The question is, can we even loan Morgan Rogers? Yes, we can. Can we loan Giovanni Reina is a real question. We should be able to at least loan Gio Reina. I don't expect to be able to loan in Edon Grover being 26. Can we loan? Oh, we can loan all three of them in. Okay. So we have the option to possibly loan two of them in, to loan both of them in, and just be a loan FC for the year. Or we sign Morgan Rogers on a permanent deal, We loan in Zagrava. I think that's more possible to happen. Or maybe we can try and get him close to 18 million. Have rough. Oh no, 18 million. We only have 22 million left. So yeah, we can't even do that as well. Morgan Rogers, let's be permanent. We are going to try and get him on the cheap because obviously we can't really get up to that 30 million mark that the board were expecting us to offer. So we're going to offer 18 million there, the lowest that they said we can offer. They want 29 million plus that 10% selling clause. That is just not going to happen. The most I'm willing to really offer is 20 million because that's all we really have. And I hate the fact I can't see the numbers. You can quite literally barely see it. I know y'all can't see it. I can barely see it. We can edit this up to be 15%, see what they say, 20 million on top. They say yes to that. Mr. Morgan Rogers will be coming to Ipswich Town. And welcome to the club, Mr. Morgan Rogers, coming on a permanent deal. A little bit unrealistic, but this is not about being realistic. This is the second channel. I'm not doing this to be realistic in all honesty. Welcome to the club, Morgan Rogers. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep getting better. 1% better every day, except we can't really get 1% better. We got to go better. And Zagrava, by the skin of our teeth, we're able to loan in because the wages was the biggest issue. I mean, it's really the only issue when it comes to loan deals, at least on the game, not in real life, because you obviously got loan fees, agent fees, all that. We just have straight up wages. We quite literally could only offer 45% to pay his wages. They accepted that after battling with us for a little bit. They wanted 60, they wanted 55, they wanted 50. We got them down to 55. Well, no, wait, what? They wanted us to pay 60, us to pay 55, us to pay 50. I got them down to for us to pay 45 is what I was trying to say. I don't know why that sounded so weird, but we go ahead and do that. We also sell Marcus Harnors as well for 880K, so we get a little bit of wiggle room back in our thing. Maybe one more loan signing on a relatively cheap wage budget list, but unlikely. And Edon Zagrava is loaned in. Jack Taylor sold for 1.1 million, getting rid of the absolute deadwood from our club. And Tuanzembe sold for 3.9 million. We don't need 3 right backs, so one of them was going to be sold. Tuanzembe is the one to be sold. They think we could have got 1.5 million more, possibly, but honestly don't really care too much. We bring in one more loan signing in, Simon Garcia from Athletic Nacional. He will join the squad. A little bit of a young prospect, hidden gem possibly. 20 years old, 71 overall. He's going to be a backup player, but we're going to have to play him a little bit. He's on loan for the season. Welcome to Ipswich. Connor Townsend sold for 1.1 million, 1.15 million if you want to be too legitical, but he is gone now as well. We are getting closer to the start of the season in Aston Villa. We got a couple more people possibly on the way out, maybe 1, 2 more depending on how much money we can get on the way in. Walton, we get roughly $1 million for. I'm losing my voice, holy cow. 950K for him. We say goodbye to Walton. And the one player I was thinking about bringing in, I think we can afford it. We got 17. When did we have 17 million to spend? Who did we spend that sold for a lot? I mean, we couldn't really have sold anybody that spent a lot. I'm not quite sure. But Dylan Jansen, a young prospect. Now, I don't really want to be using too many like youth-generated players. But every now and then, we'll get a couple, 1, 2 per season. In all honesty, maybe even, I think, yeah, 1 to 2 to 3 per season. And that'll be it, but not all of them. Most of them have to be starting in the kind of just sitting on the bench there. They want 6.5 million plus a 20% selling clause. You know what? Sure, I can do that. So we're going to look to bring in Jansen to the club right before we play Aston Villa to kick the season off as well. And Jansen does join the club from Aston Villa to Ipswich Town. He's going to kind of replace Biotti on the bench for now. Him and Biotti could be the future of this club, though. Him, Biotti, Belmonte, all could be the future of the club because I don't really know how much longer Patrick Berg has, being 27, Tyler Adams being 26, and honestly probably on the way out in a couple of seasons just by natural order of things. Jansen, welcome to the club. And so this is our team going into the Premier League season. We are done with the transfer window unless something has to happen emergency-wise. We have Haji Wright, who leads the striking partnership. We have Hutchinson on the left. We have Zergrover on the right. Morgan Rogers as our cam. Tyler Adams and Berg controlling the defensive midfielder just above the center backs. We have Leif Davis at left back. Kivior at center back. O'Shea at center back as well. With Thiago Santos at right back. And Ballman, who's already down 1 overall at 81 overall. He is our keeper in net and our captain for this season as well. And in fact, he is not going to be our captain. We are going to go ahead and give the captain to Mr. Berg because Berg deserves it for last season. On the bench, we have Delop. Him and Haji Wright could be swapping, swarming. We have Burns, who might actually be on the way out. I believe I just accepted a transfer offer. So if Burns is on the way out, we'll bring in another left midfielder to possibly replace him. I should probably do that anyway. We have Ogbane, don't know how long he'll be here. We have Sammy Smotics. We have Mkhitaryan. We have Jansen, who's Mkhitaryan's already down 1 as well. We have Jansen, who's into the club. Belmonte on the club. Johnson as our backup right back. Greaves as our backup center back. Now, what I will say, we technically don't have a backup left back, but if worse comes to worse, Kivior shifts to left back, and then Greaves can play center back. On the reserves, we just have a couple of kind of just deadwood players that are possibly all on the way out as well. We do have Garcia, who could see some game time come in the future. And I did say he was possibly on the way out. Westburn sold to Anderlecht for $1.9 million. We'll have to look to bring in another left wing. We'll also say goodbye to Broadhead for $2.8 million. He's over to Como. So okay, goodbye to him. And we say goodbye to Cameron Bergs for $2.1 million. We don't really need him anymore. We have Greaves. We have the other guy. We say goodbye to all of them. Leif Davis, another transfer for him. I've been rejecting them all. I'm not getting rid of him. On the left mid, we have Ramazzini or Gonzalez. We could possibly even maybe sneak Giovanni Reina on as well and bring him as a left midfielder. I don't know why I would want to do that, but that's a possibility. But I think Ramazzani is our #1 option to bring in as a backup left midfielder. So let's get the job done. First game of the season, and we are playing against Aston Villa, a team we spent a little bit of time shopping on the market for some of their players. We have Samba starting at goalkeeper. Don't know why it's not Emi Martinez, but we have Cash, Powell, Mings, Motson, Tielemans, Kamada, Issy. We have Barkley replacing Morgan Rogers at the cam position. Ollie Watkins at striker, Ramsey at left midfielder, Martinez, McGinn, Bailey, Diego Carlos Haas. Don't know who the heck that guy in Gauci on the bench is. All probable, but more than likely the actual starting 11. Our starting 11 is this: Amari Hutchinson. You already know the starting 11. Let's just get straight to it. At Portman Road, home game of the season. First home game of the season. We started the first game home season last season as well. We beat Liverpool. Let's see if we can beat Aston Villa. We are back in the Premier League. Let's get to action. Let's see what these boys got. Some new faces, some regular faces, some returning faces. Let's see what the boys are all about. Haji Wright in towards Zergrover. And Zergrover now. Haji Wright in for Morgan Rogers. And Morgan Rogers against his former club gets started off early, shows respect. But in the first 4 minutes, Morgan Rogers has the lead for Ipswich Town on a beautiful finish. In fact, Zergrover and Haji Wright on the build-up. A good touch right there to get past Emi Martinez. It is Emi Martinez who starts today. It's not Samba. And we get past him. Maybe it should have been Samba. But 1-0 to Ipswich. Out wide to Matty Cash. Matty Cash, I did have a sneak peek at him for possible right back. Just decided that Thiago Santos might have been a more long-term prospect to bring in, as Matty Cash now gets the ball down the right-hand side. Back to Izzy. Izzy back to Cash. Cash now shields off his defender. Cross back post for Watkins. He's in the box now. Ollie Watkins. Ramsey. Cash now. Matty Cash! His shot just off target. Zergrover now getting past his defender. Zergrover now crossed in. Haji Wright won't be able to win the header. Try to find him on that early little pass. Motson. Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins shot blocked. Thought there was about to call a penalty for that. Adams now. Can he get that out wide for Zergrover? Not necessarily. Second ball. Morgan. No. Amari Hutchinson. Aston Villa are wide open here. It's Zergrover now. Zagova on his left foot. Zagova off target. Why is Aston Villa's back line so high up and so spread out? Barkley, his shot's off target as well. And that is halftime. 1-0 up here at the break. Morgan Rogers, early goal. Tyler Adams. Morgan Rogers switching the field over to Zagrova. Zagrova was going for the spectacular. Barkley, Reese Barkley, or James Barkley, I forgot what his actual first name is. Doesn't matter. It's out for a corner after the shot got blocked. Tyler Adams, or Thiago Santos actually heads it away straight down to Tyler Adams. And now Santos in for Marty Hutchinson, who's been quite quiet this game. He might have his little breakaway now. Marty Hutchinson on his left foot, save straight point blank at Emi Martinez. Couple of changes for the last couple of moments here. Adams, Hutchinson, Wright, and Berg off for Belmonte, Ramazani, Delop, and Mkhitaryan. So 2 debuts and 2 just regular old subs. Bailey getting past Mr. Gray, or Davis, I should say. Shot blocked out for a corner. Morgan Rogers. Belmonte leaps over the Aston Villa midfielder. And Leif Davis from outside the box going for the spectacular. It's out for a goal kick. Ramsey, Watkins off the post, a near equalizer. Kivior clears it well up the field as well. Oh my lord. Maybe we hold on to the ball for the rest of the game. But Delop out wide to Ramazani. And Ramazani now back into Liam Delop, headed straight to Martinez. They have Otamendi at center back. What? Last chance for Aston Villa to try and just get a point here and spoil our home return to the start of the second season. It won't happen, and that will be game over. A Morgan Rogers goal against his former club in the first 5 minutes is enough to get all 3 points and kick our season off just as good as we did last season. Hopefully this time we don't get the Man City Chelsea gauntlet back-to-back. That was absolutely insane. Now, we are going to go ahead and end the episode here. I know we only have 1 game played in this episode, but it is what it is. We'll get back to more just straight-up Premier League action, Carabao Cup action, FA Cup action, all the lot there in tomorrow's episode. But for now, leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.